I don't know if you're feeling it too, but right now NASCAR just has that energy again. Like something wild is always right around the corner. And today, today is exactly one of those days. Because we've got not just one, but two stories that honestly feel like they came straight out of what makes this sport so special. The kind of moments that remind you why you fell in love with racing in the first place and at the same time, hint at where everything might be heading next. One of them is pure chaos, in the best way possible. The kind of thing that makes you sit back and say, yeah, this is peak NASCAR right here. And the other? That one actually matters. A lot. Because it could seriously impact what we're about to see on track and how this race might unfold. So yeah, we've got to break down both. But real quick, if you're a true NASCAR fan, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. This is NASCAR Track Insider, and we're just getting started trying to hit 10,000 subscribers. If you love real, honest NASCAR talk, you're in the right place. Now let's get into it. Let's start with the first story, because honestly, I'm still kind of smiling thinking about this one. Cletus McFarland, Garrett Mitchell himself just dropped a video that has the entire racing world talking right now. And not because of a race, not because of a championship, but because he basically took something completely ridiculous and turned it into something unforgettable. He showed up at Talladega Superspeedway, one of the most intimidating tracks on the planet, with a fleet of cheap, beat-up Crown Victorias. And I'm not talking about a test session, not a promo event, not some corporate stunt. This was just a group of guys who love racing, trying to see how fast those cars could go at Talladega. But then it gets even crazier, because he didn't show up alone. We're talking about 3 active NASCAR Cup Series drivers joining him: Brad Keselowski, Chris Buescher, and Ryan Preece. Let that sink in for a second. Cup drivers, at Talladega, in Crown Vic cars. That alone is insane. And if you somehow don't know who Cletus is, at this point in NASCAR you probably should. This guy built his entire name on YouTube doing wild, high-speed, over-the-top car projects. He's sitting on over 4.6 million subscribers, and he even owns his own racetrack, the Freedom Factory in Florida. But here's the thing. He's not just a content creator anymore. He's becoming a real racer. In 2025, he ran ARCA races at Talladega and Charlotte and finished top 10 inches both. Then in 2026, he made his Truck Series debut at Daytona. And now, he's officially set to drive the number 33 Chevy for Richard Childress Racing. That's not normal. That's a full-on rocket ship climb into real NASCAR competition. So when you see him teaming up with guys like Keselowski, a Cup champion and team co-owner, plus Buescher sitting strong in points, and Ryan Preece right there with them, you start realizing this isn't just for fun anymore. This is respect. Now let's talk about what they actually did. Talladega is a 2.66 mile monster with 33 degrees of banking. Cup cars regularly hit over 200 miles per hour there. Even veterans say it never stops feeling dangerous. And these guys lined up 4 Crown Victorias, bumper to bumper, locked in a draft, full throttle. And they hit 159 miles per hour. In Crown Vics. Cars that were basically old police cruisers, with no real aero, no downforce, nothing close to a Cup car. On their own, those cars probably barely scraped the low 100s. But together, drafting like a real superspeedway pack, they turned Talladega into a full-blown experiment in speed. And Ryan Preece was so fired up, he posted the clip saying one of the highlights of his entire Cup career was pushing Cletus, Keselowski, and Buescher to that speed, calling it the most American thing he's ever done. And, honestly, he's not wrong. But here's where this story really hits different. This wasn't just a fun video. This was a statement. Because think about it, Brad Keselowski didn't have to be there. Chris Buescher didn't have to be there. Ryan Preece didn't have to be there. These are serious Cup drivers. And they still showed up. Why? Because what Cletus is building is something the garage respects. And that's the part a lot of people are starting to notice. He's not just showing up in NASCAR anymore, he's building something inside it. He's learning tracks, improving every run, getting better results, getting faster. Even drivers like Travis Pastrana have straight up said Cletus can drive. He's a wheelman. And after watching Crown Vics hit 159 at Talladega, yeah, it's hard to argue with that. But zoom out for a second, because this is bigger than one crazy video. This feels like a shift. NASCAR has been trying for years to bring in new fans, new energy, new attention. And somehow, Cletus is doing it naturally. People who never watched ARCA are watching now. Fans who never cared about trucks are tuning in. Tracks are getting attention they didn't used to get. And all of it started with a YouTuber racing cars and having fun. And that's what makes motorsports special. Because yeah, championships matter, points matter, but sometimes it's just four guys in cheap cars going flat out at one of the most legendary tracks in the world. And everyone watching thinking the same thing. Yeah, that's why I love this sport. Todd Gilliland starts 30th. Austin Dillon 31st. Noah Gragson 32nd. John Hunter Nemechek 33rd. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 34th. Cody Ware 35th. Ty Dillon 36th. And starting all the way back in 37th is Austin Hill. That's the full field. And here's the thing about Martinsville. Starting position here is not just important, it can decide your entire race. Because this track is tight, aggressive, and emotional. Tempers flare in seconds, and if you get stuck in traffic early, your day can fall apart real fast. So, when you look at this grid, Denny Hamlin on pole, William Byron right next to him, Ty Gibbs just behind, and Shane Van Gisbergen already inside the top 5. You can already feel it, this race is going to get intense early. Then, you've got drivers like Kyle Larson trying to fight his way forward, and Kyle Busch starting deep in the field, basically needing everything to go perfect just to get into contention. That's pressure, that's storyline, that's Martinsville. And honestly, this is one of those races where it's not just about speed, it's about patience, timing, strategy, and sometimes just surviving the chaos long enough to be there at the end. So when you combine what we just saw at Talladega with Cletus, Cup drivers, and pure madness, and now this Martinsville lineup, NASCAR just feels alive right now. Like anything can happen at any moment. And that's exactly how this sport is supposed to feel. If you made it this far, drop a comment. Who do you think wins this race? And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it and subscribe to NASCAR Track Insider W. We're still a growing channel trying to hit 10,000 subscribers. If you're into real NASCAR talk like this, you already know you're in the right place.